Making Media in association with Boxro. Boxing legend Joe Calzaghe, it's a pleasure to be joined by you for the second time. Joe, you're currently on tour with Gold Star Promotions, doing talks all around the country. My first question to you is, if you was a boxing fan and you wanted to go watch a similar type of show, name me 4 fighters that you'd want to go and watch throughout history.
Joe Calzaghe, I'm joking. Yeah, my favourite fighter is Sugar Ray Leonard. Bless him, the late marvellous Marvin Hagler. Julio Cesar Chavez. There's one more?
Yeah, one more.
Say like Muhammad Ali.
Interesting. Very similar to what Ricky and Nigel said as well. Do you find these tours interesting, or is it like, you get asked different questions by the fans, etc.?
Yeah, obviously, a lot of it's quite generic, how you start boxing and so on and so forth, but I think normally I would be doing individual shows, but, I think, to be sharing the stage with, great fighters like Frank Bruno, obviously, Nigel Benn and Ricky Hatton, with good chemistry together, and at the end of the day, it's nice to hear their stories, I meet the fans, so it's good.
Last night we saw Lomachenko lose to Devin Haney, and we saw footage of him crying backstage. And a lot of people find it strange watching grown men cry in them situations. Can you recall any moments? Obviously, you finished undefeated, but were there any moments even like you kind of broke down emotionally?
Well, to be honest, the first time I ever lost was, the first fight I ever had as a 10-year-old. I lost, right, by split decision. I beat the guy 6 times afterwards, but do you know what my first ever experience in the boxing ring was a defeat, and I lost about 10 out of the fights. I cried every single time, and you know what? I think if I did lose as a pro, thank God I didn't, I would have done exactly the same. I watched that fight. It was quite a close fight, but I thought Lomachenko won that fight. I think he deserved it, but it was a great fight to watch. 2 skilled operators.
Some good advice there for anyone. You then ended up finishing undefeated, and then I watched some footage of you recently, and I see in between rounds your dad was really loud and vocal. When he's been like that throughout your career, did a lot of it sink in, or does it go in one ear and come out the other when in the moment of a fight?
Well, the thing is, I started boxing 10, lost 10 fights. My father took over as the main coach because he was my coach outside the boxing gym. He took over as the main coach when I was 17, and I didn't lose for 20 years. So at the end of the day, something must be magical in that, and to be able to conquer the world with your mentor, your best friend, which was my dad Enzo, bless him. It was. I think I'll be repeated, to be honest. So it was the energy, because at the end of the day, after a tough round, if you get dropped or something, then you've done all the work beforehand. It's the energy I think you have, and it's the chemistry. And my dad knew my style better than anybody, so God bless him.
He said in one of the interviews I found of him recently where he feels like he accomplished everything in life. He was happy where his faith was, what his son did. You think when he passed away, he died relieved, that he achieved everything that he set out to achieve?
He should be, it's your dad, yeah. Obviously, I don't really want to speak about, obviously, it's quite upsetting. Dad's still with me, at the end of the day, and he basically made me what I am, made the family that we have. His endeavours and his struggles through his life, he's he'll always be my hero, and he's the reason I'm stood right in front of you right now.
Respect to that. And last thing, in your opinion, who is the greatest fighter of all time and the greatest trainer of all time?
The greatest trainer is my dad, man. Come on, Enzo. Yeah, it's hard to say because my father's my only trainer, right? So I can't really comment on other trainers. But obviously, Emmanuel Stewart was obviously a great trainer. I had the privilege of meeting him a few times, and great knowledge, and his record speaks for itself. Boxing-wise, you have different eras, so it's hard to say a fighter from the 60s, 70s, to today's heavyweights, for instance, but. All I can say, my favourite fighters were Sugar Ray Leonard, especially as a welterweight. I love watching marvellous Marvin Hagler. Different set of skills, and they were my heroes growing up, and they were my inspiration.
Top man Joe Calzaghe, as always, appreciate time, respect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.